We're getting a lot of stairs. It's very fun.
We're behind a stadium at a cafe, sitting down. We ate a banana cake earlier.
I'm actually thinking about getting another cake.
Oh, okay. If we don't finish this in an hour or so, we're gonna get kicked out.
Yeah. Good luck, future us.
I don't know their train of thoughts, but what I know is our country is filled with a lot of TikTok people and a lot of YouTube people who do pranks, and they ruined our reputation.
Not
of
mine.
doing this.
Not mine. I'm okay.
Our. Him and me.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I apologize for the noise that is disturbing you from behind. But in order to have a better video, we would have to sacrifice the audio quality. You haven't watched the chapter 5, right?
I haven't watched chapter 5.
Yeah. By the way, Becky is one of the honored people that I'm willing to introduce you to. Before you guys, he watched the videos, he reviews the videos, and he sends it back to me saying, Barney, this is not correct, or Barney, this is not...
He gets it right most of the times.
Hopefully.
But sometimes.
God, I mean, like...
Sometimes.
But sometimes...
He's all over the place.
Yeah. I don't know. If he wants to say his full name, that's
Almost.
Yeah.
I go by Barakat.
Becky.
Barakat, yeah. Or that one.
I call him Becky.
Barakat.
He calls himself Barakat. Oh?
Yes, I do.
His parents...
The government also calls me Barakat, which is fun.
Which is interesting. Talking about government, we're gonna go to the government of the old system was the Pharisees.
Oh, nice Eve.
Yeah. When we go to chapter 5, we find this. Jesus heals the man at the pool, which he was paralyzed under the waist, right?
Yeah, legs.
For in his legs for 35 years.
Yeah.
And Jesus healed that guy. If you want
Chapter
to,
5.
if you want to check the episode out, you can watch it. Sit down, yeah.
I don't know where.
I don't know where it is as well because the cameras we cannot watch them.
Right.
They're all faced.
So it's
not
either
towards
here,
us. Yeah,
or here,
either there.
or somewhere in the description.
Yeah. And one of the highlights that I want to mention about chapter 5 is the testimonies about Jesus. This is what I emphasized on. I think I made a mistake, by the way. When me and Becky were studying it after that, there were 3 that testified about Jesus. I said John first, and I said God the Father and the Scriptures. So
There's one more.
yeah, it was His works. It was Jesus's works. So instead of God the Father Himself, it was that His works that testify that God the Father has done that in Him.
Yeah.
And we come back to this episode, chapter
6 with
Yeah.
John.
John chapter 6. Here we go. Right?
Here we go, is she?
Where did Jesus come from? He went
Right.
from Bethesda to Jerusalem, Galilee, right?
Yes. Now this is the Sea of Galilee. Yeah.
Yeah, the Sea of Galilee. He went
Which is
back to
Tiberias.
Galilee. Yeah. Which is also called the Sea of Tiberias. And because they saw the signs and miracles, a lot of people followed him. So we see that Jesus is getting popular here, very popular. And Jesus and his disciples were sitting by the mountainside. And can you explain how Jesus' thought process was like?
I can guess.
Okay.
So you see like a wave of people. So I don't know if you know this. I don't know if he knows this.
Oh.
But like 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you can see it either. This auditorium was full of people because the Evangelical Society had a concert.
Oh, okay.
And now there was prayer, now repentance.
No?
So
Was
they
it
had,
here?
It was here. Yeah.
Really?
So this place was full of people, and then I wasn't here. I wasn't part of this, but on my way home, I saw a few of the crowds, and now they were dancing. They're celebrating. Like woo, woo, woo. They're singing. It was Saturday night. Oh, Sunday night. They have work on Monday, so
that's what happens on Sunday
same,
nights.
Yeah, same. I think same crowd. So we know Jesus has been healing. We know that Jesus has done some like miraculous things that change people's lives forever. And he's doing it to a lot of people. So he's gaining followers. He's gaining like a huge crowd of people. Jesus is becoming popular. So a large crowd, verse 2 says, a large crowd followed him because they saw the signs which he was performing on those who were sick.
Yeah.
So because the crowd was so huge and Jesus was one person, so he went up on a mountain. And then you can imagine the crowds of people, just wave after wave after wave.
Yeah, and they were sitting by the mountainside as well.
Yeah.
So they can see the people approaching, the number of people like ants. That's what we discussed about. We had 2 or 3 discussions before we came and just filmed this episode. And I was imagining the people like ants. And I know ants are team workers, but these people were just running over each other, just running to Jesus. And they wanted to see those miracles. They wanted to see those teachings that were very controversial. What did Jesus think when he saw a great crowd of people approaching him? Are they here to kill me? No. Can he have guessed that? No.
You would have known if they wanted to kill him. I think there's
you
going to be a time where they do want to kill him. Foreshadowing. Barney, do the edits.
Oh yeah.
Do the editing magic.
No, I cannot. I cannot show you the future episodes, please.
Because we haven't recorded yet, or he hasn't recorded yet.
Not because of that.
Oh, because it's
But
supposed to be
surprise,
mysterious.
yeah.
Which actually,
Surprise.
even by the end of this chapter, they're going to dislike him very much. Foreshadowing.
You're cursed. You're delusional. You're crazy.
So let me try to paint what Jesus' thought process was in this Jewish Passover. By the way, we haven't mentioned this.
What's a
It was
Passover?
the Passover.
What's a Passover?
What is the Passover?
What is a Passover? I'll just try to explain in a very contemporary language, contemporary way. Remember Super Mario? Right? So you would jump over the flying turtles or the plants that eat you, right? The edible, I don't know what you call it. What you call it?
Edible? Okay.
The plants that try to eat you.
Oh.
The mushrooms, I don't know. So in Super Mario, there are things that you have to jump over, right? Basically the same story. So the Old Testament story of this would be in Genesis or Exodus. Remember the plagues were done. Pharaoh said, "No, I will not let my people go." And then so God commanded his people, the Israelites. He said, "I want the blood of a sacrificial lamb over each of your doorposts. I want that blood over your house. So when the angel of death comes to your house and he sees that blood, he will pass over your house." So
Hence the Passover.
that's why it's
Hence
called
the name,
Passover.
Passover, right?
So the angels of death would go, "Who am I going to kill?" And then, very literally, it's very serious circumstance. Stop laughing. When he would see the blood on the doorpost of the people, he would pass over in that house. So that's why they celebrate the Passover, because it's the day where all the firstborns were killed. But if there was a sacrificial lamb, if there was a substitution for that house, then that house would have life. Same story. That's what the Passover is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Becky. It was the Jewish Passover. That's why so many people were following Jesus. Because it's the holidays.
Yeah.
People have no jobs at that day, so I can see that way of thinking in the people.
Yeah. Also,
I'm not
Jesus.
sure, actually.
Also, Jesus is doing something amazing.
Yeah,
So
Jesus did something.
let's just follow that guy. You know.
Oh, I have an interesting question for Philip. That's what Jesus' thought process was, and Jesus asked Philip.
Jesus asks Philip, "Hey Philip, what's up?" He didn't say what's up. That's not in the Bible. He asked Philip, "Where are we going to get bread for all these people?"
And Philip answered, I'll be as Philip, okay. Philip answered him, it would take more than a half a year's wage just to buy enough bread for the people to have one bite.
Yeah.
So I see Philip just pulled out the calculator right there. He saw the crowd and he calculated. And he was
You
like,
can almost imagine Philip going pale. What do you mean, get them bread? Huh?
Really, Jesus? What a funny joke. What did Jesus think when he asked this question to Philip? Did he think that Philip had an answer for this?
No, because it says in verse.
He wanted to test him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
'Cause
says
it
that
says-
he wanted to
says-
test him. He asked this only to test him, for he already knew in mind what he was going to do. So, and then Philip answered him, pulling out the calculator. It would take more than a half year's wage to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite. Philip can calculate. He knows math. Like some people, but that's not even the funniest part. It's what comes next. What did Andrew say, bro? Please.
Andrew, my boy. So in verse 8 and 9, Simon Peter's brother said to him, "There's a lad here of 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But what are these for so many?" My boy Andrew
has lost his mind.
His solution to this circumstance, to feeding these crowds of people, was, "Hey Jesus, we have a boy. He has 5. I don't know why he's Italian.
Yeah.
We have a boy here. He has 5 loaves.
Yeah. You can just eat it and run away.
He has 5 loaves
Yeah.
and 2 fish.
Yeah, 5 loaves, 2 fish.
But what are these for so many?"
So Andrew was like, how far will they go? Don't be dumb, Andrew. Don't ask this question. If I was in Andrew's mind, or if I was like his friend, I would have stepped on his toe.
Yeah.
Something like that and said,
Yeah.
nah, bro, what are you trying to do?
And so, like a denarii, 1 denarii is like a day's wage. So it's 200 denarii, would be 200 days wage. How much you'd earn in 200 days?
That's
Yeah.
more than half a year, by the way.
That is more than half a year.
Maybe by some days.
365? Yeah. Anyway, and then Andrew's response was,
hilarious.
"Hey, yeah, hey,
Hilarious.
let's just give them 5 bread and 2 fish, and then the strongest, survive. Because the children don't eat, they're just the dads."
Maybe they eat each other.
But we also see something here, don't we?
Yeah,
In verse 8 and 9. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said to him, "There's a lad here who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish, but what are these for so many?" And then Jesus' response to that was, "Have them sit down. Have the people sit down.
Yeah.
Let them sit down in the grass." So I was so dumb. Get out of here! You're not even a disciple anymore. Andrew, what are you talking about? I don't know. It's
I
almost
think
like
they were like that, I think.
yeah.
Because the rest of the disciples, oh my God, Andrew, why are you?
Peter,
saying
come
this?
get your brother. What's wrong with him? At the same time,
Yeah.
you see something because of Andrew's silliness. Again, also I think his faith. But I'm the very small insignificant amount that Andrew brings to Jesus multiplies. What does that teach us about our lives? Because sometimes we go,
Oh, shucks.
"God, I want to start a business," and then he says, "What do you have?" And I was like, "Maybe matober."
Oh, 2
And then
5
your whole
breads and 2 loaves.
Yeah, 5 breads and 2 loaves out.
Yeah.
And not Kaza, your whole squad is like, "What? Get out of here!
Yeah.
Somebody get this boy!" And then Jesus says, "Yeah, I want that. Give that to me, and I will multiply it."
Yeah, we'll bless it.
Yeah,
And that's what he exactly does. He blesses it.
yeah,
He receives the food from the boy, and Jesus blesses the food, pointed up to the sky, and then Jesus gives thanks and distributes the 5 loaves and 2 fish. On number 12, it says, they all had enough to eat. And then Jesus said to gather the pieces that are left over, and I quote, "Let nothing be wasted," he said. So Jesus being that confident makes me confident. So, wow, I don't know. Through that whole process of giving that bread to somebody else, when will it end? When will it end? When will it end? Is it this time? Is it that time? Or so the people were like, man, I don't know if they heard rumors of this. They'll be like, it's 5 loaves and 2 fish. I don't know if it's gonna get here or not. They have that hopelessness feeling or something like that, and the people were not sure if it's gonna get them or not.
Okay.
But I would be surprised if I got the chance to pick up a loaf from the barley and the fish. Maybe I'll try to get as money as I can and try to sell it to Baalalek.
Yeah.
That, I don't know. That's
Jesus
just
is
my-
blessing everybody. Come get
Yeah.
your loaf. Come get your blessed loaf. $5.99 only.
Last love.
Hello.
It's very windy right now.
You're very windy.
We're gonna have to wait for the wind to pass.
You got in my eye, man. Yeah. I don't want that. I
Oh,
hope.
another one. Okay. Oh,
I'm Mary.
it's like okay. The glasses.
Yes. Remember Anten Super Half Fire?
Oh yeah. He's still here, by the way. He does it. Yeah.
That's why they call me glasses, shirt, and hat guy, because I jumped it off.
Everybody was like.